I've been dealing with the smart meter issue with Northeast Oklahoma Electric for about 2 years now. They sent a letter and said that they were going to do maintenance on my pole, and my wife met them when the technician came out. So then they left, and I have contacted Northeast Oklahoma Electric in writing and in person about my feelings on smart meters, and I have told them that I do not want a smart meter. So yesterday they showed up and they said that they were going to cut my power and they were going to take my meter, and not only were they going to take my meter, but they were going to pull the whole pole. So that's what the discussion is today, and here in a minute we're going to go through documents and talk about what Northeast Oklahoma Electric has done.
Good morning. My name is Joe Esposito. We have roughly about 8 YouTubes up about smart meters and the electropollution and the damage that's being caused by all this radiation to humans and animals and plants. We're out in the country, and the meter readings like 0.6, 0.7 here. There's some cell towers out this way, but you can kind of hear them and it runs up, and you come this way, obviously it's 180 degrees and it's 0.4, so you can tell the radiation's coming at Randy's property from this northwest side. It's a beautiful day. We have our meters, we have our documents. We're going to give you a little overlay of what's been happening with Randy and what Northeastern Oklahoma Electric has been doing. So let's just get with it. Okay, so here we're at. What happened? We've got a letter here from December the 5th, and this is a member co-op. The members own the co-op. The trouble is the officials that run the co-op aren't telling the members what's really happening to them. It was April the 25th is when they got this letter, and all they said is, this is a quote, "Your electric cooperative, Northeast Oklahoma Electric Incorporated, would like to inform you that we will be in your area in the coming days to perform maintenance to your service. We have a surge protection product that is available to you for $5.95 per month and can be installed when we are there free of charge." That's called the bait and the hook, because free of charge. But what they're not telling you is that what they've been doing is putting smart meters on people's homes, members' homes, but they're not telling them. And they're not telling them what's happening because of the dangers of this radiation, the 2 microwave transmitters that are in these things, the fires, the privacy issues, and all that involved, okay? So Randy shot back a letter and said, you know, he wasn't going to go along with all this, and he didn't want it on his home. Like he said, his wife stopped him the first time from putting it on. And so then we have a December 5th letter. The co-op has followed the Oklahoma Corporation Commission guidelines and will not be offering an opt-out program at this time. And then they even talk about they've done their own studies to see about this radiation. And so we shot back a letter to them saying, okay, send in writing the Oklahoma Corporation guidelines, because there is none. And then we said, okay, what studies have you done? Shoot those back to us. So there's never been any communication after that. They never got anything back to Randy. And so then they show up in the driveway yesterday, and they were demanding to change his meter out. And so, I mean, you know, what kind of deal's that? You know, no notice, no anything, no communications. That's kind of a bullying tactic, it looks like to me. And so, I mean, I actually talked to Larry Cisneros, the head electrician, and 2 other employees at a home over in Salina for a couple hours one day. I had my meter, had documents. You know, I have a little satchel of documents right here that I carry just to help people understand what's going on. And we shared those with Larry. And it sounds like he ignored him and everybody over there. So then Randy made an appointment. We both drove up to Veneta and spent what, an hour with him, and there was 4 employees there trying to explain all this to him, and they ignored that. They're not telling the public. We have another friend, Chuck, over here, that he didn't want a meter. They jumped his fence and went and installed it while he was away, right? And so I guess Randy was here yesterday when they came to help him along, saying he didn't want the meter. And then he was threatened to turn off the power, and they were going to come back today and pull the pole, the wires, and everything. So, I mean, that doesn't sound like, a member. I mean, he owns the co-op, okay? All right, so that's one thing. What's interesting is they always talk about cell phones. They always, like Larry does that too, says in there, you got a cell phone, don't you? And, people go, yeah. Well, if you have a cell phone, you can have a smart meter, because what they're telling you is the smart meters are less dangerous than a cell phone, and cell phones are more dangerous. Well, it's interesting that the Environmental Defense Fund was a group that pushed all this, and you can see they have misrepresented, but they used the California Technologies Committee, and they said a cell phone is more powerful than a smart meter, okay? And so that's what all the utilities bought onto and were misinformed about. And Daniel Hurst, 2011, came out with his document, and he's a nuclear radiation guy, and we have the documents that he kind of reviewed all this and said, no, that's a bunch of baloney, and said, here's a cell phone down here, and here's a smart meter here. So they had it turned around. And so what they've been doing is misinforming the public about what really is true here. So, we're trying to straighten the truth out of this radiation stuff, because if you watched Josh DeSouls' Take Back Your Power, they're telling you the power microwave density of a cell phone is 0.2 billionths. That's 9 zeros, 0.9 zeros, where a smart meter, an Itron single meter, and this is measured in centimeters squared, Itron is 7.9, multiple times stronger than a cell phone. So that whole cell phone thing, this is peer-reviewed, published science, radiation testing results, and public standards. So that debunks the whole cell phone issue here. And that's the only thing they can hang their hat on. They come out here and throw that around at you. And so I talked with the Attorney General, Scott Pruitt, here a while back, and asked him, I said, who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the utilities, or are you going to believe the microwave radiation warfare experts that have been doing this for 26 years? This is Jerry Flynn, his credentials, microwave radiation warfare. He has a 17-page document and an executive summary 4-page document. And if you read this stuff and you look at what he's saying, and I'll read you this last part. No insurance company will insure utilities or particularly anybody in the wireless industry anymore. Even Lloyd's of London won't touch them. We're getting ready to see the whole smoking thing go up in smoke here again. That must be a pun. Okay, so listen to what Jerry Flynn is saying. In conclusion, the most government should see that the above. Let me start up a little further out. Militaries have known for 50 years the lethality of each and every frequency within the entire RF spectrum. That's today's frequencies, of which wireless consumer products and smart meters are authorized to emit their low-level pulsed non-thermal RF radiation. They are the most harmful frequencies known to man. That pulsed non-thermal radiation can inflict more harm to people, the brain, central nervous system, and immune system, than can continuous wave radiation, the kind emitted by microwave ovens. Humans can selectively be inflicted with any of a host of diseases, illnesses, and human effects, even killed by pulsed non-thermal radiation on certain precise frequencies. So, the military guys are trying to tell you that this stuff is very dangerous. And here the utility comes along and says, it's not really a big deal. But who are they to be experts in microwave radiation? They're not, okay? So there's Dr. Erica Mallory Bly, a 79-page document in the UK, teaches physicians about the dangers of this radiation. Here's 3 pages: body systems, nervous systems, respiratory systems, gastrointestinal systems, eyes, musculoskeletal. And so when you see this kind of stuff, you say, well, what's the deal going on? Well, we have in here a 1972 Navy military document. I carry a few documents around here with me. We even have the International Firefighters Association document showing the exact same things we're saying. Here's the 1971 Navy military document, 2,300 scientific studies showing microwave radiation damage, 5 pages of health symptoms, and that's where Dr. Erica Mallory Bly is telling you all that stuff. So then just here yesterday, the 912 group comes out, calls for a moratorium on deployment of smart meters, issues of safety, health, cost, and violation of privacy. Now, in a court in D.C., an economist came out against FERC, who put all this in place, and they ruled the whole thing that they're doing with the grid and smart meters is illegal. It's supposed to go to the Supreme Court. But yet OCC is trying to put all this in place, just like Northeastern Electric. Over in Claremore, a smaller town over here, this lady got a $1,641 bill and 62 cents for 1 month. There's several. Shelley Madison Taylor is over there. Channel 6 was reporting on all that. So, you know, you have to look at all this. And I mean, we've got documents available here. And there's, I mean, I don't know what more you want. But you try to approach these utilities, and they just look at you and say, well, they ignore you, you know. And so here we are today. They were supposed to come this morning and pull the pole. I don't know if they're coming or not. But they're damaging people's health, and they're causing fires. I mean, people's houses burn. There's 26-minute YouTube on the internet now showing all that and the damage. You used to have a warrant to go into your house. Now they put smart meters on your house to go in and look at what's happening in your house. So we just came to help Randy today, to help him tell the truth, and we want to record the truth. And you know, I don't know everything. I've just been doing this for several years and trying to find out what's happening. I was an intervener on PSO's case, and so I was there, and there was just misinformation after misinformation with PSO, and it's the same. And it's the same with Northeastern Electric. They're not telling. I called Anthony Dew one day, and I introduced myself, and I said, Anthony, are you guys doing smart meters? And he goes, yeah. I said, well, I'm looking on your website. Where are they? He goes, well, we haven't got it up yet. Hello, you know, and now they're not telling the members, you know, and then when the members get pushed to, you know, or coerced to get these meters on, then they try to come up with, they say they have documents and they don't, because they don't bring them. They don't show them to us or nothing. So,
well, what I want to add is they came out here to take my meters, and I asked for documents. They didn't have documents. I have documents, and they won't look at the documents.
yeah. And so we're just trying to give you a little time frame of what's happening, and the members that ought to be very upset. It's their co-op, and look what's being done to them. They're not being told even what's happening. So we just wanted to come out today and kind of straighten out the record. So we'll see how this goes. We're going to go around and take pictures of the meter around the back of the house. It's on the west side. And you know what's interesting, let me just end up with this little, we talked with the director of the Oklahoma Real Estate Commission, Shar Soblowski, all right, not too long ago. And I called her and talked to her the first time. And I asked her, I said, you know, we've got homes with this radiation coming right through the walls, and do we have to disclose that so we don't get sued? She said, you know, we've never been asked that question before. And so we went to her offices not too long ago, and she's on the second story of a building that's right south and west of the Oklahoma Corporation Commission. And in Oklahoma City, where their building is, there's like 14 television towers there and a cell tower not too far away. And we explained all this information to her, what the my meter reads, and it was astronomically bad in her office. You know, and so you can look at studies now that are coming out saying that if you live in a house where there's high radiation, you're going to lose 20% or more of your value of your house, because it's not the person that owns the house problem, but these people with this electropollution, the radiation coming in and radiating everybody. And so if you look at what Jerry Flynn is trying to tell people, is this kind of radiation it belongs in military weapons. It does not belong in consumer devices and smart meters. So, I mean, you have to decide for yourself. We've got the documents, we've got the military guys, and the utilities just go around saying about cell phones. I mean, that's, what can I tell you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, and if you got any questions, you can call me. Okay. It's 918-274-8111. I mean, I'll be happy if you want to correct me with all this. I'd be happy to listen and talk. Thank you. We're going to go around and look at the meter now. We're over here on the west side of the house, Randy and I, and our meter here is reading 0.3, which means it's pretty safe. We don't see any pulsing. This is, I guess, an old analog meter, which is a mechanical meter, which was grounded. So if there's surges, the surges go to ground. But the smart meters, there is no ground. And so when they get hit with a surge, it can blow them off the walls, which they've done in other jurisdictions. And it's kind of interesting. I don't know that any of the smart meters, I think PSO had one of their GE meters tested, but there's no like underwriters laboratory testing done on these smart meters that other than that one I think I've heard that PSO might have done. And so, but these are safe. These are mechanical analogs. Used to have 5 dials, 0 to 9 up in here. This has got a tumbler that just kind of rotates. But it's very safe out here where we're standing. Like he has a metal building over here, and inside that metal building it's 0.1, and so that helps block his radiation from his house. But this is where we're at, and this is what he wants to keep on his home, protect his family, because once you put a smart meter on, not only are you going to be radiated into your home like we've showed at Dr. Kendall's property, they have a meter 30 feet from the house and it's going right into his bedroom, but you're going to get dirty electricity with all that, because those transmitting transmitters, like a 2.4 gigahertz, is 4.8 billion cycles a second. On the 60 cycles, it's on top of that. So it goes into your house and it comes out of your walls, and it's called dirty electricity, and it damages your health also. So there's multiple things to worry about here, but this meter you don't have to worry. And so we're trying to get the Attorney General to do a moratorium on all this, because the Oklahoma Corporation Commission has never done the health and safety and privacy issues of these meters. They've just given you know, the utilities a rubber stamp just to go on, like Oklahoma Natural Gas around back in 2010 is when they put a gas meter on my house, didn't tell anybody. They can read those gas meters 2 miles from your home, and I told Administrative Law Judge Ben Johnson that the radiation does not go over and under your house, it goes through your house. That's how they can read it 2 miles away. And if you have the right meter, the little domed ones that says FCC on the left-hand side, second line up from the bottom, those are going off. They can go off as high as 250,000 microwatts every 15 seconds. And so they're damaging people's health. Then they have the water meters, the gas meters, and now the smart meter electric meters. So we're being submersed in a sea of microwave radiation that nobody has any studies to show that it's safe for. They can't show you the studies. They don't have them because nobody's done any. But we know how bad the radiation is from our military experts. So we just want to thank you for the beautiful day, and thank you for listening to what we had to say.